The civil justice system is difficult to navigate, and I think it would be shocking to many people, even to some attorneys who may have a broader national practice, to realize how many people come before our courts every day in important matters on the civil side without counsel or representation.
Unfortunately, there is no way that legal aid can help every single person that comes through our doors. Every year, there are thousands of intakes that we conduct. And every year, there's a gap between the people who need an attorney and who can't afford one, and those that we can take on as clients. And what our pro bono program tries to do is chip away at that gap.
Pro bono is important because it's our service as lawyers. I became a lawyer because I read To Kill a Mockingbird in my 10th grade English class. I saw Atticus Finch as a helper, and I wanted to be a helper, and so I decided to become a lawyer.
What sets Jo apart is she sets the time apart to really contribute a large part of her life to pro bono, and it is just part of who she is and what she does.
Criminal record sealing in particular is this idea that folks get arrested, charged, convicted of crimes, sometimes get arrested and dismissed, but sometimes get arrested and convicted and serve a sentence. In this country and in the district, those records follow people around.
Last summer, I took on a project for a special educator in D.C. who committed an offense when she was 19 years old and is now in her mid-30s. And is looking to get her record expunged so that she can get a job with the city school system.
And so what criminal record sealing strives to do is to help people seal these records so they're not available to the public, so that when they go and apply for jobs, so that when they go and apply for housing, they're not popping up and limiting their opportunities in the future.
My client was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she's now being punished for it continuously 20 years later.
It is not automatic in D.C. You may have records that are eligible to be sealed, and yet, unless you affirmatively file a motion to have those records sealed, it's not going to happen.
It's a pretty impossible process to do without a lawyer.
She won't be able to be employed by the city with the record that she has as it stands now, so we were able to file a motion on her behalf that's pending in D.C. Superior, and our hope is that it will be accepted and expunged, and that she'll be able to start teaching as a special educator in the fall.
Jo brings heart to every case that she is involved in, and she does it because she cares sincerely, and more important than that, that she befriends and undertakes her clients and represents them in a way that is not just professional, but is heartfelt.
I think in her pro bono practice, Jo is always willing to take on a new challenge. She's willing to roll up her sleeves and jump into our training materials and take on a brand new matter that she's never handled before, and she does it with grace. I think Jo acutely understands the need for more attorneys to engage in pro bono, and she leads by example.
And it's not just what you gain by doing something for someone else. I think the lawyer who does pro bono service gains a lot.
It's the first time I was ever in court. My first trial was for pro bono work. It is important that you're giving back to the community that you have, but the benefits that you get are so much more than what you could ever give a client.
We absolutely need more attorneys to take on pro bono cases. With all of the resources that we have at Legal Aid, we simply cannot do it alone. The more pro bono attorneys that we can get engaged, the more we can chip away at that gap between those who are coming to us who need help and can't afford it, and those who are going to actually get representation or advice from us.